So yesterday we found out how much of a problem the inflation still is in the UK and how bad the economy is currently in the UK. And the news of this really reflected in the FTSE 100 as the FTSE 100 was down 1.75%. So when we look at the economy and we look at inflation at the moment, how bad is it? Well, it is bad. So if we take a look here, UK inflation falls by less than expected, heaping pressure on Bank of England. So you can see here the UK inflation came in at 8.7%, which was lower. The only problem that you had here is that inflation was supposed to come in at 8.2%. I kid you not. That is how far behind we are currently on expectations on inflations. It came in at 8.7 when it was supposed to be 8.2. And realistically, if anyone's from the UK watching this video, this is not a surprise for you when you go down the high street and you see the prices of things at the moment and how much things are still going up. They are going up incredibly a lot. And of course, inflation going up means there's going to be more tightening on your spend and consumer spend, and also that interest rates will continue to go up higher to combat the inflation rate that's currently going on at the moment. And when we go back to the start of the year, if we look here, Wednesday the 22nd of February in 2023, when the Bank of England came out and said that 2% is the target by the end of this year, and I remember at the time going, there is no way the UK is going to get to 2% by the end of the year. The US may be able to do it. In fact, I think they will be able to do it. If not, they will be in the 3% range, so they won't be too far off. There is no way the UK is going to hit 2% by the end of the year, as the Bank of England suggests. This was a absolutely crazy prediction, which when you were looking at what they were trying to do to combat inflation and the UK government, was nowhere near to happening. This is because the Bank of England is incompetent of doing their job and the current UK government is incompetent of doing their job as well. And right now, the UK has a terrible economy and inflation is a major problem. There is only currently 2 countries that are even worse in this situation than what we are. Currently, the only 2 countries that are in a worse inflation environment than us is Argentina and Turkey. That is some depressing fact when you look at the UK economy. We should be doing a lot better than this. So why is the UK economy a mess? Why is interest rates so high? Why is inflation so high? And why is it so slow to come down compared to other countries? Why are we doing such a bad job? Well, the key thing is energy. What is the main cause of inflation? Well, it's normally energy and petrol prices, oil prices. As soon as energy prices, oil prices, petrol prices, as soon as they go up, that is normally the indicator for a lot of things to catch up to factor in the higher costs of these energy costs and petrol costs. And what happened? Well, obviously the Ukraine-Russia situation was a big cause of that. That was the big hike up in energy prices that we had in the start of 2022. When you look at the price of certain items and them big things being the impact on consumer and also the impact that businesses had where they had to increase their products in line with the energy costs because they had gone up so much. You know, you look at something like the petrol, for example. Petrol in April 2022 was the average of £1.62. And that's when you look at April time in 2022, crude oil or Brent oil was around about $112. And now you look at down here, now it's down at 78. And you're looking at what the average current price is now, thinking, oh, well, if it's come down 30% in them sort of terms of the wholesale prices, you know, it's down, we were paying at £1.62. We're going to see a 30% drop on the forecourt for petrol in the UK. And then you look at what the current prices were, and we're currently still paying around about £1.44, or for petrol we're paying £1.53. So even though prices have come rapidly down, they're very slow to come down on the forecourt, and that's been pressure on businesses, it's been the pressure on consumers. Certain people, certain companies have benefited from this situation. They have benefited from seeing prices go up, and instantly then prices go up. But yet when prices are coming down, that is nowhere, very, very slowly reflecting the share price, and in fact doesn't go to the correct levels that they should be because there's a lack of regulation on this sector and the overall government hasn't been good enough to dictate these prices and make sure prices are being reflective or should be the fair value. And that's the point of regulation, which we haven't seen from the UK government and also the Bank of England as well. So this has been very poor, and this is also one of the situations why we aren't doing great. And also that leads on to the other, when we talk about what has been the pressure of inflation majority wise, once again we talk about energy costs absolutely skyrocket. If we look at natural gas, for example, natural gas absolutely skyrocketed and we were very, very high up in natural gas. And since then, natural gas has come down. and natural gas is now the same sort of prices that it was in 2021. Now, it does take a while for these sort of prices to come through and wholesale gas prices to come through to the consumer, but the fact that we are now getting to the point where these are the prices that it was at in 2021, but yet we are only starting to see the first costs of coming down in the energy prices now in the summer of this time frame is absolutely scandalous. It is scandalous that it has taken so long for the UK population to see these lower prices in their bills for this time frame. This is so poor. This shows you how poor the government has been in the UK to combat inflation, to combat the prices, to get these prices into consumers' hands, and for major companies to benefit from this situation for charging higher prices when it doesn't actually cost them this much. It's been absolutely scandalous to see how slow it has been and how poor the UK government has been to sort this situation out. And it's like when you look at the companies that will benefit from this situation, which is Shell. It's no surprise to see a company like this that has been able to charge these higher prices when the costs haven't been that much, then come out and say, oh, we have done our highest profit in 115 years. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's actually got to the point where we actually had the Shell CEO coming out and saying, you know what, you probably need to tax us a little bit more because we're making a bit too much profit from the situation. You realise the levels that Shell have to get to where the actual CEO has to come out and say, you're probably going to need to tax us a little bit here because we're making way too much money off this situation, is so poor. You have a government that is not protecting its citizens from inflation. It's not doing the correct things of taxing and stopping the people that are benefiting from this situation, and refusing to put windfall tax or regulation on these sort of sectors and companies where the actual CEOs that benefit from this situation have to tell the UK government what to do. This is how bad it's got in the UK economy right now. So when we go back to the target of can inflation get back down to 2%? This will be obviously very good for the UK economy, UK consumers, because people are getting affected by this cost of living crisis. And can these people that have these jobs to stop these situations solve this issue? Well, this target that they set out of 2% by the end of the year isn't looking positive. And from what I've seen at the moment, there is nothing that gives me confidence or gives me the feeling that the UK government and the Bank of England have the competence to do their job. They are not doing their job. They have not done their job for a year. And at the moment, all this is doing is having the effect on the UK economy, having an effect on businesses, having an effect on the UK consumers, because everyone has tighter money to spend because of how bad they have done their job. And at the moment, unfortunately, there is nothing really positive to point out because they're still mismanaging and not doing their job, which is absolutely crazy. So today, to see the FTSE down, to see this news of inflation still being sky high, to see the news of inflation still not coming down as much as what it should be, is no surprise because it has been so badly managed from the Bank of England and the UK government. And going forward, it only looks to continue, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. But unfortunately, there's people at the moment in them jobs that aren't doing good enough jobs in the UK government and in the Bank of England. And that has been devastating on the UK economy and will continue to do that going forward. So not great news coming out today, guys, but we'll just update you guys and make it clear that unfortunately there's people out there that have these jobs that generally don't know what they're doing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in a bit.